What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Rope Monster coming at you here from the office in beautiful sunny Playa del Carmen. Happy Sunday. Is there a permanent solution to the sargassum issue here in Playa del Carmen and Quintana Roo as a whole? That's the subject of today's Sunday Vibes. Smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy these laid back Sunday conversations, this one is incredibly important. There's some breaking news, so we're going to dig into what's actually happening, what the proposed plan is, maybe some of the drawbacks and pitfalls in the plan, and some of the hurdles and challenges that will have to be overcome for this to actually work. We'll also go through some of the past plans that have been proposed and see how those turned out. So guys, if you have anything to contribute to this discussion, as always, leave it in the comments below. That's the concept of these videos, is to start a conversation. So guys, thank you all for your contribution. Thank you all for being here. Let's dig in to the sargassum issue here in Playa del Carmen. Vamanos. Oh, grab yourselves a Sunday beverage. I've got an iced homemade frappe. Cheers, guys. Salud. Num num num. So I want to start by highlighting a comment from a subscriber, Sheila. Thank you, Sheila, for your comment. She says, FYI, sargassum problem soon to be solved. And she's quoting here, Mexico has officially declared sargassum a national fishing resource according to an update published in the National Fisheries Charter by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. The CNP is a technical and official document that monitors the current state of Mexico's fishery resources and issues recommendations for their management, conservation, and sustainable use. According to the CNP's new terms, sargassum may be harvested on the high seas starting August 7th, 2025. Hypopelagic sargassum, the species of seaweed that washes ashore in the Mexican Caribbean, can be used to produce various products such as food supplements for animal husbandry, fertilizers, biofuels, bioplastics, and materials for bioremediation and water treatment. Mexico Daily News was the source on that. So thanks again, Sheila. Let's dig into some of these proposed ideas. First of all, guys, there's already some vessels being deployed, so we'll talk about that first. The vessels that are currently deployed out there and what exactly they're doing. We'll talk also about the net systems being deployed and see what's going on with those and which areas are getting the most allocations as far as those new nets, and we'll go on and on from there, and then dig into some of the fine details as well regarding this whole national resource situation with fishermen. Are they actually going to go start fishing up sargassum right now, or do some things have to happen first? So that's an important part of the discussion, guys. So for just a moment, guys, we'll talk about kind of what's happening right now currently, and we all know it's not working that well, or else we wouldn't be having this discussion. So sargassum monitoring and early detection. The Mexican Navy, CMAR, in collaboration with academic partners like the University of South Florida, employs satellite and maritime surveillance to track sargassum blooms and predict their arrival. Okay, and so then we come up on this containment at sea approach. Once they detect where these blooms are happening, the idea is that they contain it out at sea. They're using physical barriers as we see in some places here in Playa del Carmen. Also in Puerto Morelos, there are net systems as well. There are in Tulum and Cancun. Physical barriers are deployed offshore to intercept and redirect sargassum before it hits the beaches. In 2025, around 9,500 meters of containment barriers have been installed, along with vessels dedicated to capture. And we'll come back to exactly where those 9,500 meters of barriers have been installed. I'll break down which city got how much, basically. As far as the collection vessels, I want to highlight an issue I have with this because I live here and I go to the beach almost every day, so I know what's actually happening. They say CMAR uses a fleet including the Nathan's vessel with a 200 to 250 ton capacity, and maybe that's still a thing. But then there's 11 coastal sargassum harvester boats, 2 of which I've seen right off the coast here of the shore of Playa 72. 11 coastal sargassum harvester boats and multiple smaller vessels. Collection occurs both offshore and in shallow waters to mitigate beach landings. The problem I have with this, guys, and I'm going to fly Ronaldo out there in a little bit. I'm going to get you guys a fresh beach update. The problem I have is 2 of those sargassum harvesters have been sitting out there and I haven't seen them move for weeks. So it's one thing to have the vessels, it's another thing to have the resources, the diesel, the manpower to operate those vessels at full capacity. And what I'm seeing is a lot of sargassum washing to shore these last few days, especially here in the northern part of Playa del Carmen. And I'm seeing 2 of those precious 11 vessels doing absolutely nothing. And that makes me cautiously optimistic about this new plan. So let's talk a little bit more about the new plan with sargassum being reclassified as a resource. So guys, the long-term circular economy solution, Quintana Roo is advancing the comprehensive sanitation and circular economy center. So there's a planned construction site in Cancun in the hotel zone for this state-of-the-art facility planned and developed in partnership with Dutch Cleantech and Oceanus, focuses on processing sargassum, treating wastewater, producing biogas, biomethane, manufacturing organic fertilizers, and possibly issuing carbon credits based on CO2 emissions averted. The project is moving into its final phase with pilot studies in place and site selection underway. So I'm getting some contradictory stuff there. It's moving into its final phase, but the site selection is still underway. So how long will it be until this facility is up and running? And what will be the incentive to get fishermen to actually fish this sargassum, harvest the sargassum instead of what they already know and understand will put food on their families' tables? But this does sound intriguing and promising, at least, that there's a partnership with Dutch companies. There's also a partnership with the Dominican Republic. They're working and sharing technologies and ideas. And so the economic and resource reclassification, the Ministry of Agriculture officially recognized sargassum as a fishing resource in August 2025, potentially unlocking its industrial and technical use. However, and this is one of the drawbacks I wanted to talk about, guys, there's this pesky little thing called money, and this is an important resource in getting all this done. However, the state acknowledged that the 130 million peso initial budget is insufficient. You think? Yeah. To compensate, they're reallocating environmental sanitation funds from municipalities and seeking investment opportunities. So wouldn't you know it, they're waiting for investors. And even if I had the deepest pockets in the world, this would be a tough sell. This is highly speculative. I'm not sure where the investment is going to come from, whether it's going to be very small businesses, startups, or established corporations. We shall see, and I'll keep you posted. International collaboration. Mexico has proposed a bilateral environmental roundtable with the Dominican Republic to jointly tackle sargassum issues, emphasizing shared challenges and potential collaborative solutions, such as manufacturing biofuels, fertilizers, and bioplastics. So that's the basic outline of the plan. Now, guys, I want to talk a little bit about the capital that will be allocated for the fishermen. How will the fishermen be incentivized? This is a very important part of this plan. Let's talk about that next. As always, guys, smash the like button if you find value in this. Subscribe if you haven't already. It means the world to me. And for those of you new to the channel, welcome to the community and thank you for being here. So let's talk a little bit about incentivizing these fishermen and what's been allocated so far. In Tulum, an additional 4 million pesos were allocated in mid-2025 to hire about 100 temporary workers for sargassum collection between August and October, suggesting a budget of approximately 40,000 pesos per position if distributed evenly. So we're talking about 40,000 pesos for 3 months to go out there and collect sargassum, bring it back, and go back and forth. And 100 temporary workers in the Tulum area. If you've been down there in person or you've seen my Instagram reels from Tulum, you know that's probably not going to be enough to make a dent. And also, there's nowhere to really bring the sargassum yet. I think the key in all of this is the facility being completed as quickly as possible in the Cancun hotel zone. So let's talk a little bit more about that facility. There's limited data on this so far, guys, so I'm doing my very best to dig deep. I've spent about a week digging into this since receiving your comments, guys. Comprehensive Sargassum Sanitation and Circular Economy Center, Cancun Hotel Zone. It says a flagship, and this is Mexico News Daily and Riviera Maya News that I'm quoting. It says a flagship facility is being constructed in the Cancun Hotel Zone. It will process wastewater and transform collected sargassum into biomethane, biofuel, and other sustainable products, things like fertilizers, maybe animal feed. So the problem is I'm finding data saying that they haven't even selected the site yet. And so construction hasn't even begun. This could be, overall, I think this is good news and I'm optimistic, but I think this could be a project that takes years to come to fruition. So for those of you thinking, hey, there's a solution right now, the fishermen are going to go swoop up all this sargassum. First of all, I think it would take a coordination between the Navy and those who have access to the satellite imagery. It would take a coordinated effort between those people and the fishermen to know exactly where to be and when. And then we would need the right incentives, because fishermen can go 500 meters offshore and be catching something that they know is profitable and going to feed their family. So there's got to be an incentive for them to shift gears. And then we need multiple satellite kind of areas, collection sites. There has to be a lot of coordination. It sounds like there's a committee in place. There's people working on this. The negatives that I see, guys, are once again the budget, the lack of funds. 130 million pesos I don't think is going to cut it. So investors will need to step forward. Foreign companies, like apparently Dutch companies, have already done so. So guys, I'm remaining optimistic, and stick around. I've got a little bit of bonus material off topic, but that's what I've got for the sargassum situation today. And I am going to go fly Dronaldo out and see what those collection vessels are up to. Is it that they are completely full and loaded to capacity? Is it that there are no people to operate the boats? Because I believe it does take at least a 3-man crew to operate those vessels. So we're going to fly Dronaldo out there. Look out for that update later on. Full beach update. I've had people wondering what the Hyatt Vivid former Hilton is looking like. And so I'll be covering all those beaches, mamitas. Stick around for the bonus material, guys. As always, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Rope Monster, out. So bonus material is this, and it is food related. I've been on a food tear lately. I'm getting some weight back on me after having that wisdom tooth pulled out. I finally found a fantastic sushi place in Playa del Carmen, guys. I went last night. I've been trying so many different sushi spots, and I finally found one on 10th over there by the Deportivo. 10th and about 28th, called Sushi no Kai. And this is a higher end spot. I was joking with my buddy Jesse that I was getting hit with air conditioning from every angle, which is a sign of luxury in Playa del Carmen when you got multiple air conditioning units hitting you. The sushi was fantastic. I had a couple of starters. I had a hot jasmine green tea with the meal that was fantastic. So I'll throw up a couple photos on the screen of that excellent sushi experience. So now you know, and guys, the place is rated 4.9 stars on Google. So that doesn't always mean it's going to be a great experience, but the staff was good. The quality and care of the food preparation was good. The presentation was fantastic. And I left there a very happy rope monster and slept like a baby. So guys, if you enjoyed the content and the bonus material, just smash the like button for me, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode like this upcoming beach update. See you guys later on. Thanks again for being here.